Hello guys! Today I'm going to explain monkey to human evolution in a simple way. So let's get started. Sahelanthropus tchadensis, one of the oldest known human ancestors, found in Chad in 2001. The fossil skull, known as tumai, shows a mixture of human and ape features. The face was relatively flat and the teeth were small, which distinguishes it from modern chimpanzees. Its brain volume was estimated at approximately 350 cubic centimeters. It lived in wooded and savanna areas, as confirmed by nearby flora and fauna finds. No tools have been found, but it is believed that Sahelanthropus may have used simple natural objects to obtain food. Australopithecus afarensis. The skull had a brain capacity of about 400 to 500 cubic centimeters, which is larger than that of Sahelanthropus, but still close to that of modern chimpanzees. The face was elongated with protruding jaws and large canines. The fingers were still curved, indicating an ability to climb trees. Adults were approximately 1.2 to 1.5 meters tall and weighed 30 to 45 kilograms. They lived in the savannas and forests of East Africa and fed on fruits, leaves, and roots. Homo habilis. Homo habilis is considered one of the first representatives of the genus Homo. The skull had a brain capacity of about 510 to 600 cubic centimeters, which is larger than that of Australopithecus, but smaller than that of modern humans. The name habilis means skillful, as primitive stone tools known as olduvai tools were found. These tools were used for cutting meat, processing plants, and extracting edible roots. Upright walking was fully developed, and the legs and feet were already similar to those of modern humans. The social structure presumably included group hunting and joint care of offspring. A comparison with Australopithecus afarensis shows a significant increase in brain volume and improved hand motor skills. Homo erectus. He was the first hominid to leave Africa and settle in Eurasia, including Indonesia and China. His skull had a brain capacity of 600 to 1100 cubic centimeters, which is significantly larger than that of Homo habilis. Upright walking was fully developed and body proportions were close to those of modern Homo sapiens. There is evidence of the use of fire. Finds of hearths and burnt bones confirm this. The diet was mixed: meat, fish, plants, and roots. Homo erectus shows the first signs of long-term planning and strategic thinking. Traces of Homo erectus have been found in Indonesia, living on islands using primitive boats or rafts. Homo neanderthalensis. Neanderthals lived in Europe, Western, and Central Asia. Their brains reached 1200 to 1750 cubic centimeters, which is larger than the average brain of modern humans. Their faces were broad, with protruding noses and massive brow ridges. They used complex stone tools associated with the Mousterian culture, as well as bones and wood for hunting. There is evidence of the use of fire for heating, cooking, and protection. Neanderthals created primitive jewelry, used paints, and may have had early forms of language. Their physical strength was significantly greater than that of modern humans. Homo sapiens originated in Africa approximately 300,000 years ago. Fully developed bipedalism, proportional body, adapted to diverse climates. Homo sapiens actively used fire for cooking, heating, and protection. The emergence of art, cave paintings, figurines, jewelry, indicates the development of abstract thinking. The social structure included clan groups, tribes, and the formation of the first settlements. The emergence of language allowed for the transfer of knowledge and coordination of collective actions. Homo sapiens spread throughout the world, displacing other Homo species, including Neanderthals. Homo floresiensis. Homo floresiensis, or hobbit, was discovered on the island of Flores in Indonesia in 2003. An adult stood about 1.1 meters tall and weighed 25 to 30 kilograms. They had flat faces, small teeth, and massive jaws relative to their body size. They lived on an island with few large predators, which allowed them to develop in isolation. Their social structure is unknown, but bone finds indicate that they lived in groups. Homo luzonensis. Discovered on the island of Luzon, Philippines in 2007, officially described in 2019. The skull remains are not completely preserved, but the teeth and finger bones indicate unique morphological features. Stone tools have not yet been found, but their diet included plants, mollusks, and small animals. They lived in caves, judging by bone finds and traces of fire. Homo luzonensis coexisted with Homo sapiens in the region. The species became extinct about 50,000 years ago, probably due to climate change and competition with other species. Homo naledi. It was discovered in 2013 in the Rising Star Cave in South Africa. The skull has a brain capacity of about 460 to 610 cubic centimeters, which is smaller than that of modern humans but larger than that of Australopithecus. It is fully bipedal, with unusual body proportions, long arms and short legs. Homo naledi existed at the same time as early Homo sapiens and Homo erectus in the region. Research shows a mixture of ancient and new features, a combination of primitive anatomy and complex behavior. This discovery broadens our understanding of cognitive development of Homo. Homo heidelbergensis. Homo heidelbergensis lived in Europe, Africa, and Western Asia, and is considered a transitional species between Homo erectus and later humans. Their brain capacity reached 1100 to 1400 cubic centimeters, which is roughly equal to the brains of modern humans. Their skull had massive brow ridges and a flatter face than Homo erectus. They made complex stone tools related to Acheulean and Mousterian technologies. There is evidence of hunting large animals, such as mammoths and deer, using spears and tools for cutting up prey. They had well-developed hearing and vision, which allowed them to hunt and coordinate their actions. Traces of primitive shelters have been found, indicating concern for protection from the weather. Homo antecessor. One of the early European species of Homo, discovered in Spain. They used stone tools from the Acheulean culture for hunting and processing prey. The use of fire has been proven, but not on the same scale as in later Homo species. Homo antecessor was one of the early ancestors of Neanderthals in Europe. They adapted to cold and variable climatic conditions. This species illustrates the early colonization of Europe and the gradual formation of Neanderthal traits. Homo rhodesiensis. They lived in South Africa and neighboring regions. They walked upright and had strong, muscular bodies. They made tools of the Mousterian culture and used fire for cooking food. Their physical characteristics allowed them to hunt effectively and survive in the savannas. Homo rhodesiensis is considered the ancestor of Homo sapiens in Africa and a relative of European Neanderthals. Their skeletons show a combination of primitive features with elements of modern humans. Homo sapiens idaltu, a subspecies of modern humans found in Ethiopia, in the town of Haile Selassie. The cranial capacity was about 1,450 cubic centimeters, which is close to that of modern humans. The face is more massive than that of later Homo sapiens, with a pronounced jaw. Evidence shows that they use fire for cooking, heating, and protection. Men were about 1.7 to 1.8 meters tall, and women were 1.6 to 1.7 meters tall. Homo sapiens idaltu is one of the earliest subspecies of Homo sapiens, completely anatomically modern. Late Homo sapiens. They spread throughout the world, including Europe, Asia, Australia, and America. Their brain capacity was 1,300 to 1,600 cubic centimeters, and their skull structure was similar to that of modern humans. They created complex tools, such as bows, arrows, and fish hooks. They used fire for cooking, heating, firing ceramics, and protection from predators. Art developed. Cave paintings, jewelry, musical instruments. Late Homo sapiens displaced or assimilated other Homo species, including Neanderthals. Modern Homo sapiens. Completely anatomically and behaviorally modern humans. Average brain size is about 1,350 cubic centimeters, and the skull structure has stabilized. Upright walking is fully developed, and the body is adapted to various climatic conditions, thanks to clothing and shelter. Humans make complex tools, machines, and technologies, including computers and vehicles. The use of fire has evolved into energy management, heating, and industrial production. Food has become diverse and globalized, including agriculture and industrial products. Modern humans also use language and writing to transfer knowledge and coordinate collective actions.